us well to review the whole compound thing, because on the last couple quizzes, some of you didn't do quite so well. A compound inequality either is an and inequality or an or inequality. And what would be the difference between the two? Okay, and stuff does what?
They come together.
They come together right now. Over me.
Together, right now.
Or ones shoot off in opposite direction. Okay, and the and ones can look like this. You could have -2. You could either have it written like that, which is read like this, x is greater than or equal to -2 and less than 6, or you could actually write it out with the word that says x is greater than or equal to -2 and x is less than 6. Either one of those mean the same exact things. You just have to recognize it, and when you say this, you start with the x is greater than, even though that's a less than sign, you start with the x and you talk it greater because so when you graph it, when you graph it, it's as easy as this. You're going to have a dot at -2 and you're going to have a dot at 6 because this is equal to, you color it in because this is not, it's open, and you color in between the circles. Okay, some of you for some reason were drawing things over here and making arrows. I don't know where that came from because I never told you. Or it looks like this. Here would be an or one. X is less than -4 or x is greater than 2. When you do the or ones, there's no other way to write it other than use the word or. You don't end up with anything like this. X is less than -4, so at -4 it's less than, goes this direction. X is greater than 2 goes in this direction. They go in opposite direction. That's the and or the ors. A good little review, I hope. Yes. Now, this, unfortunately, though, is where we have to solve them. That's why it's called multi-step. So here is, and I think I talked about this before, but I don't remember. Let me give you a for instance. The or ones aren't so bad. Let's do one of those. 2x plus 9 is less than 8. Or 3x plus 3 is greater than 12. Still need an non-sequitur. Are they live?
Wow.
And the only thing with this is you just need to solve each one. Okay, you got to figure out what x equals here and what x equals there. Just like any other inequality. Subtract 9. Subtract 9, so 2x is less than -1, divide by 2, divide by 2, x is less than -1/2. Or, same thing over here, subtract 3, 3x is greater than 9, divide by 3, divide by 3. Well, I go pretty fast because this isn't something you should know how to do. I'm just solving an equation. I mean, if you don't know how to solve the equation, then we got to go way, way back to the beginning, because that was 7th grade / very beginning 8th grade. I will get to this point and say, stop me if you didn't understand why I did something, but it's just a matter of isolating just a variable, getting the value to solve.
Why can't it be a Mrs. Variable?
Or Mrs. Variable, if we have to be gender specific.
Yes. We learned that. Well, the majority in here is
Female.
Is or are?
and female are better. The majority.
I agree.
Without men, I mean without
It's a
well,
10 to the
majority
5.
is singular, so majority is ratio.
Ratio is an ugly word.
Yeah, put that one.
So is like
So is ratio.
boy.
Not, I hate
Larva. I hate that word.
Since we're talking about words that we dislike.
Larva.
Let's not digress. Here we go.
I love that.
So then it's just a matter of graphing, Harry Schubert. And graphing would look like this. Again, it's an or problem, so they're going to shoot off in opposite direction. X is less than -1/2. So It might be a good idea to put a -1 and then maybe a -2 and then put your big thing right in the middle there. No line under it, so it goes like this. So you could just put a -0.5 under that. Click here. Put a 3 here, open circle, goes this way. What?
Can you keep it that thick?
I could,
I like
but I run out of room if I need to write something like this next one. Now the and ones get a little more complicated. Take a look, see at this one. 24 is less than or equal to 2x plus 8. See, I can't do it this. It's hard to.
That would be cool.
Looks like a giant children.
Which is less than 36. Okay.
I have one of these on my math test.
Yep.
Oh,
Speaking of math test coming up here. And here's the deal with this. You see this middle? This middle must be done twice. In other words, you've got two equations. You've got this side over here that you need to solve for x. And then you've got this side over here, which uses that same middle that you need to solve for x. So it needs to look like this. The first one is going to be 24 is less than or equal to 2x plus 8. And then the second one is going to look like this, which is 2x plus 8 is less than 36. You need to solve each of those and then rewrite it as your and inequality. Which means, what do I have to do? I subtract 8. Subtract 8, I end up with 16 is less than or equal to 2x. Divide by the 2. Divide by the 2, you get 8. And go ahead and leave the x there because that's going to end up there on your compound inequality anyways. That's the one and only time you put an x on the right side as opposed to the left. And then I solve this one for x as well. Subtract 8, you get 2x equals 24. I'm sorry, is greater than or less than 24. Divide by 2, divide by 2. So x is less than, I don't know, I lost sight of what I was doing here. 28 and 14. So that's 4. So you can just stick this with this and make it look like this. How's that? I can't do these numbers this big.
yeah.
And then when you graph it, what does it look like? Put your little line out there. Lionel Richie.
Who is that? Oh, I've heard that before.
8 goes there. It can be equal to, so it's colored in.
Is that like?
I like the color.
Oh, Mr. Howard, I
14.
forgot about the t-shirts.
And
And he said like what color we want, and
that's
he said I have to give him the order by Monday.
okay. Well, you know what it is.
I have to show him the order.
You just don't pick out a shirt that's going to cost us $20 because I don't have $20 per person. We got a budget here.
What's the
He
budget?
said he'll do it cheap for us anyways.
Oh, well.
We should make him something.
Thank you card.
We should make the t-shirt.
We should get a big white T-shirt and design it ourselves and make it.
And everyone, we should do public.
That's what I was thinking.
I don't think you.
Well, not really, but I was thinking I don't think he's gonna wear it.
Hey, and then I think we
It's
should make them
suggested.
wear it to graduation.
Oh my gosh.
What if it had our faces on it like a picture? For who?
Yeah.
Mother's Day.
And then we had our nicknames.
Suddenly we digress, yeah.
Mr. Ian.
We should like at the end of our graduation, let me put a coffin down.
I like have like a fish.
Yeah, like
Make my fish